The drill chamber hummed with life, ozone tangling with the low whir of advanced apparatus. I remained still, hands folded behind my spine, taking in the scene with the composed exterior I had cultivated over long service. I am Zephyra, tactical commander of the Star Dominion, and I had observed countless races vie for entry into the United Coalition. Many faltered, others completed the gauntlet, and a precious few ascended into legend. Yet this one felt unlike the rest. I watched as the human woman adjusted her sidearm, a bare pistol, quaint by our measures. Still, her casual posture snagged my interest. It amused me. "Specialist Winters," I said, voice clinical and measured. She lifted her gaze from the weapon and offered a crooked smile. "Just thinking," she replied with a shrug. "My grandmother used to say, never trust someone who scorns the discipline of precision." Seems this setup would have pleased her. I swept my eyes over the training complex. The Star prided themselves on state-of-the-art arrays, quantum-calibrated targets, gravity warp lattices, environments projected behind layered energy shields. This complex alone cost the Dominion a fortune. "Your grandmother would like the instruments," I remarked, my tone even. A fleeting sensation I could not name brushed through me. "She'd probably call it excessive," Winters observed lightly. "But she'd admire the workmanship." My secondary antenna twitched at the brazen nonchalance. I had scrutinized the fiercest warriors from distant systems. No one had ever dismissed our gear so casually. "You think we're overdoing it?" I asked, clipped. "Overboard," she grinned again, though I respect the zeal. I studied her, trying to decode the human. Winters remained a riddle wrapped in wry levity and steady assurance. It grated. "Prove it then," I said, my voice cold as frost. "Show me what you've got." Heavy footfalls clanged across the observation gallery as Commander Czar of the Vraxan Empire lumbered inside. His vast silhouette loomed above the others, a creature born for conflict. As expected, he'd come to observe, contributing little of use. "So, this is the human?" Zoras's voice rolled over the comm regrettably. I muttered softly, and the human heard me. "Don't worry," Winters called up cheerfully. "I'll either amaze you or make you laugh. You win either way." Zar emitted a low chuckle that vibrated through the panels. "Begin when ready," I told Winters, though I already anticipated the next moments. She wasted no time. She slid a new magazine into the relic firearm with a practiced motion that betrayed long habit. The first target appeared. The firing range fell silent, the next target forming, stationary, 200 meters downrange. Bang! The sound cracked sharp and clean. The target's core flashed green. Dead center. "Acceptable," I said, though the word felt empty. A second target emerged at 400 meters, half-veiled by a hollow wall simulating combat terrain. The challenge intensified. Winters shifted her stance, calculating wind variance, density, and angle. She squeezed the trigger. Another perfect hit, green again. My antenna flicked, irritation prickling beneath my composure. She'd done this before. I could tell. "Impressive," I murmured, mostly to myself. She gave no reply, already preparing for the next. By the fifth target, an unfamiliar tension coiled in my chest. Her precision was inhuman. Each motion was smooth, instinctive, a predator reading its prey before the strike. "Where were you trained?" I finally asked. "Earth," she answered, swapping magazines with practiced grace. "Mostly ranch work. My dad taught me. Out there, if you don't learn to shoot, you become the target." I blinked, absorbing her words. "You were prepared for battle since childhood." She laughed softly. "Not battle, just survival. Same difference sometimes." I triggered the next phase. The targets moved, erratic, evasive, unpredictable. Reaction time was key now. Winters flowed like liquid, every motion deliberate. Her shots rang out in perfect rhythm, each finding its mark before the next hologram even fully materialized. "This defies all logic," Commander Czar's gravelly voice thundered through the comm. I could only nod. I had no explanation. The environment shifted, gravity spasms, concussive blasts, shifting terrain, all calculated to overwhelm. Yet Winters moved through it as though gravity itself obeyed her. She rolled through debris clouds, adjusted midair when the ground inverted, landed firing with merciless precision. My sensors struggled to track her velocity. Was she human, or something our scanners couldn't define? "Want me to slow down, Zephyra?" she called out, voice light, teasing. "Wouldn't want you overheating." I clenched my jaw. "Continue," I snapped. The final phase initiated, live hostiles. They fought back, adapting, advancing. Most recruits fell in seconds. Winters charged in headfirst, an orchestrated storm of chaos and control. Every move defied standard tactics. She relied on instinct, raw, untamed brilliance. "She's unstable," I muttered. But the truth struck hard. She wasn't unstable. She was evolution. When the last target fell, the impossible had become fact. Winters stood amid the dissipating light, chest heaving, weapon steady. A grin, defiant and wild, spread across her face. She had shattered every Dominion record, defied every model of probability. Czar's voice came through, laced with disbelief. Not even Vraxan elites could achieve that. I descended toward the chamber, each step heavier than the last. "You are something else, human," I said quietly. "Thanks," she replied, holstering her weapon, that grin never faltering. "So, promotion, or do I start redecorating my quarters?" Chaos. Precision. Humanity distilled into something uncharted. I realized then, we hadn't trained a recruit. We had awakened a storm. And for the first time in decades, I wasn't sure whether to feel awe or fear.